So there are other ways in which vendors are using social media as well. For example, a significant minority, 44% I think it was, said that they use social media as a means of researching their target markets.
Do you see any fallbacks in that, or any issues, weaknesses?
Well,
or
I
indeed
mean,
strengths?
potentially. It kind of depends how they're attracting people in to undertake that research, if that's what it actually means, or any analysis of any behaviour that the social media respondent demonstrates. In terms of their campaigns, they talk about using integrated campaigns in order to essentially to funnel people into their social media world, because, as I said earlier, that engagement and sales leads are so important.
Yes.
But the extent to which they are able to profile those people is questionable. What's your opinion of that?
Well, it seems to me that as an element, as a part element of understanding your market, social media is very important. It's a value immediately, but it's not easy to do. It's not easy to understand, as you're suggesting, to get close to your customer, to your prospect. And most of the time, I imagine the engagement is with a customer. It's actually not with the market at large. And so there's a need to, but there's quality there, but it's perhaps a qualitative statement of the understanding of the customer base. But from the market perspective, you need to do some market research. I would say that I'm a market researcher, but nevertheless, that's what I believe in order to understand the broader perspective. But then it's not an either or, it's a with, it's together. And we see many opportunities there, or indeed many examples of organizations that have used both approaches in order to fully understand the marketplace and to fully understand their prospects.
I think the temptation, though, is in a world of declining budgets, if they see social media as, in inverted commas, a cheap way of undertaking research, then that's possibly a misguided view.
And the reason being misguided is because they don't know who they're hearing from. And that's where the analytics becomes important. You need to understand precisely the marketplace that you're listening to.
That is an extremely good point, because we did ask vendors what skills they think are most absent in their marketing communications department, and things around data analysis, bringing together and trying to understand different data sources were right at the top of that list. So whilst they regard themselves as being competent in social media, in actually taking what social media might be telling them and making use of it, and crucially combining it with what they might have from other sources. It might be customer research, it might be the wider market research, but something of a more controlled quantitative nature. That's something that they admit they're not so strong in.